You're supposed to say, how can I make it right? How can I make it right? Maybe your line wouldn't be held up if you did your job correct the first time.
Especially around here. Working at Walgreens is basically like being drafted into Vietnam at 18, 19 years old. You've seen some.
Hey guys, I'm Blossom.
And I'm Dave. Welcome back to the Rude Customers Podcast. I have to adjust my microphone, which she does not like.
You have to adjust it?
I had to adjust it. I had to bring it closer to me. I felt like it was too far away.
Oh, well, I mean, I guess as long as you're talking into the mic, that's all that really matters.
That's what I try to do. I have a habit of being too far away from the microphone or not always talking into the microphone. So.
This is why I like to hold mine. My mom asked me, she was like, why don't you have a microphone stand? I do. I just prefer to hold it.
But you won't let me hold my microphone.
If you let him hold his microphone, we're going to get into it, guys. We're going to get into it. But real quick, if you let him hold his microphone, you're going to hear a lot of...
I won't move that much.
If you can hear that...
You're wrapped on my foot, pimp. I don't think it'd be that bad.
So sorry if you could hear that, but... Oh, my Ollie came...
And yeah, for some reason that attracted Ollie.
I know. Anyways, if you could hear that, that's like the wire of the microphone wire going up and down. So that's why. Because anyways, it wouldn't be. Put it this way: if the microphone is on a stand and you're still having problems, can you imagine if he actually had full control of the microphone?
Well, no, because then the mic comes with me. See, like my cup of coffee. Hi, I'm Dave in the morning. KKLZ 92.3, the rock station.
All right, guys, let's get right into this. So what we're reacting to today seems like a customer is either at a Burger King, McDonald's, one of those, and she's really going ham because they forgot either sauce or they forgot whatever in her meal the day prior. It's insane. Like the amount of, I understand asking for sweet and sour sauce at McDonald's and not receiving it, but that's why you always check the bag before you leave. You know what I mean? And granted, yes, these things should be in your bag if you ask for it, but I think it's important to always check your bag before you leave anyways. And even then, it never rolls over. My emotions of hatred or disappointment doesn't roll over into the next day.
For some people, that's all they have.
Clearly.
All they have is their daily or weekly trip to the fast food. You know why I don't get upset about this stuff? Because I grew up in an age of where you can make fun of stuff. Mm-hmm. Lethal Weapon 2. You ever seen it?
No.
Highly recommend you do, because it has one of the greatest scenes about this. Oh, you've never seen it then? They
no.
You at the drive-thru. It's one of the greatest scenes. And everyone in the chat's going, oh my God, they you at the drive-thru. And it's a great, great scene. It's Joe Pesci.
No one cares.
Danny Glover and Mel Gibson in a car.
We want to watch the reaction video.
They're thinking about doing the drive-thru now, but go ahead.
I want to let you know that because these sauces weren't in the bag, my son's dinner was ruined. All right, he doesn't want to eat no dry chicken, and he uses it for his French fries.
Okay. Am I cursing at you or disrespecting you?
Yeah, you did disrespect me, actually.
No, I did not.
Maybe not right this second. Maybe not right this second, but on the phone with me last night, you did.
No, I did not.
In your opinion.
Okay.
In your opinion.
Okay.
When I pulled up here last night, I looked to whoever the person was in the eye. I said, are all 6 sauces in there? He kind of looked back and he said yes. He was like, what were they? I told him 3 barbecue, 3 sweet and sour. He kind of looked back and then he said yes. I looked whoever it was directly in the eye. And so either that person, and when I was on the phone with you, you asked them, did you put the sauces in? And they said yes. So either that person is in.
You know what's insane to me? She's recording this, so she really thinks that she's in the right here. And I'm like, get over yourself. You looked me right in the eye and told me the sauces were in there. Like, okay, they probably looked like 200 plus other people that day. Like, what is going on? Like, part of me thinks that there's something else that's wrong here. Like, I don't. So? And then the other part of it too is that if your son likes this much sauce or whatever, like go to the grocery store, get some barbecue sauce, get some other condiments as well. And also teach your child that you always can't have it your way. You know, there are some days where it's real life, it's the real world. You can't always get what you ask for. Sometimes it just doesn't work out. Sometimes life isn't fair. And, you know, there's some real lessons to learn here. Like, your son's night was ruined. Oh, I mean, it shouldn't have been ruined that bad. You know, like over some sauce. I don't know.
I have some great news for you. Would you like some great news?
What?
His night wasn't ruined. She lied. She made it up. Nobody cares that much about sauce. Her kid didn't care that much about sauce. She wanted to make a stink. Someone pissed her off the night before, and she was going to carry this over. It's not about sauce. You honestly think for a second. First off,
yeah,
that kid
I think
cared
she's.
not. There we go. Bingo, bango, bongo. This is the point of the episode where I'd like to take a moment to make sure everybody checks on their mental health. It's a very important thing to do because this is not anything. This isn't even funny to me. This is the type of customer that I deal with very, very frequently. And it's hard because there's a point when things stop being funny. You know, it's when you start seeing the signs that there's no control here. There's no awareness. There's no control. I don't want to be this pointed, but this is why in like this area, going to the drive-thru, social worker now. You know, like social workers go with me. I'm not like, see, that's the thing. I'm not even trying to be funny. I'm not trying to be funny.
Dave,
I'm
social
not trying
workers
to be
do
mean.
not go to the drive-thru. Wait,
Around New Britain, they do. They either go for them or go with them. They have to. It's bad around here. I'm going to get bets. I'm going to get bets on camera, and you'll understand a lot more because they can't go through. When you become a certain level of incapacitated, when you can't even like get sauce, maybe you need to consider like, maybe I need a little help. Maybe I need to get myself in order. She doesn't even realize that she didn't go inside. She went back to a drive-thru. She's holding up so much with little awareness. This is a mental health thing. Mm-hmm. Like, this is not like your average Karen. Mm-hmm. I feel very bad for her. I feel very bad for the employees there because she's trying to act like they were being rude the night before. I don't think anyone was rude. I don't think there was anything that happened the night before. She's being very patient with her now. Why? Because I think she realizes the same thing I realize. You can't, not everybody is capable of taking the same level of beratement or anxiety or whatever. Like, they're not going to be able to understand it. And that woman clearly doesn't.
So
She's
do you
back the next day.
think she's the one who had the initial breakdown over the sauces and her kid watched?
No, I think she's overly broke down. I just think she's a mentally broken woman who has this problem a lot. If I had to guess, that's extreme to me. Like, there's reasonable things that people get upset about. You could there's so many ways to handle this that does not involve taking a video of you looking disheveled, sounding out of it, going into a drive-through, holding up no.
Yeah, when you take a video,
there's just so much there.
It really means that you just think you're 100% in the right and you're going to show them. And all this video does so far is make you look unfortunately pathetic. Yeah. But let's continue watching.
Not to be I'm usually the joke guy. Mm-hmm. I'm usually the funny man, but I have family members like this. It just kind of hits me, man. It does. It kind of hits me hard to watch somebody that I had to go through drive-thrus and sit in cars and listen to family members do stuff like this. My mom would make up this lie. That's why I know this is a lie. I never cared about sauce that much, and I'm a kid who really loved his sauce. I loved condiments. But my mom would use me as an excuse to weaponize me. But here's why I also know why she's lying. If I was really upset, I'd be with her. She wanted them to see the tears. There was no tears to be had, so she just has a story and a cell phone. It's just, this just sounds so familiar to me. I lived this life, I feel
can't
like.
relate.
No, you can't. And you know what? I'm really glad you can't. And to anyone out there who can, we're really glad you can't.
Because
you have a great
conversation
family.
Is sounding so weird right now.
I know. You have a great family. You should be very happy is all I'm saying. Think about it. Her kid, now let's just say for a second. Her kid's going to watch this, Blossom. Her kid's going to have to grow up as an adult with this stuff. That's the part of social media that we don't even realize yet because we're still in the early lifespan of it. 20, 30 years from now, all of our kids, they got to watch all this stuff. They got to see this stuff. They got to explain
I don't
this
see
stuff.
this video circulating that much over the years.
There are videos from the 1970s that are still circulating with crazy people.
Oh, for sure.
I'm not saying this one specific. I'm not
Yeah.
talking just specifically about her. Now, for her family, this will live on for a very long time. It may not live on beyond the scope of that family, but this could have repercussions. I'm just saying. Andy Warhol said in the future, everybody would be famous for 20 minutes. I don't think this is what he meant. That's all I'm saying.
Competent or they are a liar. And I wouldn't want to have liars working for me.
A liar, ma'am. That's not nice.
Because he looked me in my eye and said
it's
yes.
Sausage. It's not like it's your food.
Yeah, it was my
sausage.
food. My son didn't eat that food last night. It was ruined.
Your son sounds spoiled. Then.
He's autistic. Okay, he is autistic.
Why? Because that could be very disrespectful.
Yeah, so don't tell me my son is spoiled. Don't you tell me my son is spoiled.
He's a liar.
Well, he said yes.
All right, don't
he
call
said
liar.
yes.
How do you know
he
not
said
autistic
yes.
and you called him a liar?
So how hard is
Don't call
it?
nobody a name.
How hard is it to check your
wrong for
food?
calling somebody a liar.
I said either he's incompetent
You're
or a
wrong for calling
liar.
somebody a name.
Well, I feel good about my opening statement. I feel really good about my opening statement now. I feel a lot better about my opening statement because, yeah, there's something going on here. Like the whole family's got mental problems, it's looking like. And which is unfortunate. Which is incredibly unfortunate. Now she's weaponizing her son's friggin' disability.
If her son has one, because she only came out with that after the lady was like, your son is spoiled. So then she hit him.
He's autistic.
Yeah, she hit him with that. So obviously we have no idea.
It feels wrong, doesn't
but
it?
it feels kind of like, okay, well, if you're gonna come to the drive-through with a complaint about how my son was upset about sauce, I would it's not like a cherry on top, obviously, but I think it would mean more if you were like, my autistic son was really upset and with the sauce, and so next time when I come here, even though this whole thing is absolutely absurd and ridiculous,
but that's why it's valid. But that's why your point's valid right there, because it is so absurd and ridiculous. And if you're going to do something so absurd and ridiculous, you're going to have the proper verbiage.
So I believe, like I said, we don't know, but I believe if her son was actually autistic, that would have been a starting point.
And whether or not he is, honestly, I think it's gross to bring it up in that type of weaponized state.
Yeah, right. Like, oh, my son is spoiled. Well, he's autistic. And newsflash, you can still have an autistic son that's spoiled.
Absolutely. They are not mutually exclusive. You can have a spoiled autistic son.
Yeah.
And not only that, it's not really relevant because the problem here is you're still bringing it up in this drive-through when a phone call would have. I'm saying you're making it about your son's mental health when your mental health may be way more.
Her mental health. She looks absolutely. She does not need to be going through any drive-throughs anymore.
Nope.
Have you tried Uber Eats?
Uber Eats is an amazing thing.
This is really sad because now I start questioning, well, how does she parent? You know what I mean? Like, I just start questioning a lot of things.
Now you're starting to go down my path. I'm like, it's a very depressed, when you start realizing it, like when you really start seeing her, it's like, oh man. You start asking yourself all types of questions because you feel bad for her son. You feel bad for her family. You feel bad for her.
Like, if this is over sauce, can you imagine homework, grades, and the teachers and like
trash?
It's.
Well, yeah, like taking out the trash. Oh no, you were just thinking about like how bad it might
be at her house. Yeah.
Now we might be being judgmental.
I know. I don't know, man.
But it's just like there's different levels of caring.
We all have bad days as well, so it's not the end of the world. But let's continue watching.
Yeah, there's different levels of Karenisms.
Shouldn't call somebody a name. That's not nice.
All right, you know what else? When I was on the phone with you, you didn't apologize once. You should have been
You
like,
didn't give me a chance to talk.
I gave you plenty of time to talk.
Not. You were just saying it's not right. They didn't put my sauces in.
No, you said,
and I said, ma'am, you can come tomorrow to pick up the sauces.
No, you said, what do you want me to do about it?
No,
I said the sauces weren't in the bag.
I said for you to come back.
Well, that explains why she's there. She took her literal. That it makes me feel even a little bit better because no one would really be serious. Like that's what you say to somebody to placate them. You know, to get them off the phone. Say you can always, if you really feel that strongly about it, you can always just pick up the sauce tomorrow. I don't think she would expect her to come and pick up the sauce. You know what I mean? This woman took her literally, and she's there to pick up the sauce in the morning, and she's there with anger. That's a little scary.
I don't know. I'm going with a mental disability, so I don't know anymore. I'm going with mental disability.
And you said, no, you can't do that.
I can't do it right now.
So what did you want me to do?
I can't do that right now.
Okay, so what would you want me to do at that point?
Yeah, what do you want me to do about it? You should have been like, you know what, ma'am? I'm sorry that your son's food is ruined. No, you didn't say sorry.
Your son's food was ruined.
You did. Yeah.
You did not say that.
You should say, ma'am, I'm sorry your son's food was ruined. What would you like me?
For your son, you didn't even mention your son yesterday.
Why do I have to mention anything?
Okay, so I told you could come back for your sauces.
You're supposed to say, how can I make it right? How can I make it right? Maybe your line wouldn't be held up if you did your job correct the first time.
This is a part of this is also about power, because she's 100% aware, disability or not, that she is holding up the line. She's 100% aware that she's like, you know, this is how you talk to me. And it's giving, I can't control a lot of things in my life, but this is the one thing I can control. So let me control it to the fullest. Let me on this.
Yeah, she did.
So, yeah.
She took her pill when she completely contradicted her story. You know, like she's yelling at her. She didn't apologize for ruining her son's meal. Well, you never told me about your son until now. Why do I have to tell you about my son?
Yeah, and it's like, well, then bad. What was the point of, you know what I mean? This whole thing is, she's just, to me now, this is more of, I need to take some control in my life. So this Burger King line is going to be it. You know, this is what I'm going to conquer this year.
You crapped out today, lady. Sorry, you drew the short straw, Burger King lady. You drew the short straw.
He does when they know they suck at their job. No, I'm not going to go.
I'm going to call an officer on you.
Okay, you do that. You do that. Let me see. Do you know how to count to 6? Do you know how to count to 6? You could be on the phone with the cops, but you don't know how to somebody face to face. No, they're getting your order wrong. You have to wait.
Get out of my line, man.
No.
No. Oh, no. I swear to God, if I wasn't at work, there would be a scene.
Yeah, I know.
Yeah.
I know.
Get out of my
I know.
line. Get out of my line.
What are you going to do about it?
Get out of my line.
Next time, do your job correctly. You are ruining people's meals. You're ruining people's meals. I don't got time for this.
Ugh, that's a rough watch. That's a rough watch.
She was there's definitely something wrong with her, so I don't know if this commentary I don't know if I should go any farther with my commentary, because there's definitely something wrong with her. Her laugh absolutely terrifies me.
That was I wasn't sure if she was trying to fake cry or laugh or what.
Yeah. Like she was getting what she wanted. I have control and I'm ruining your line.
I just love the chirping in the back. Hey, come on.
I know. This was like, come on, move, come on.
No, they're getting your order wrong. Like she's a hero now. She's protecting them. Wow, that's a rough one. That's a rough one.
Ooh, here's another rough one. So this is a guy, I think he's trying to pick up his medication at the pharmacy. I know I always go through this. I'm not going to name the pharmacy, but I always go through this with a pharmacy around here that's not so great. And so I kind of just, I don't know, they have the option of delivering here. But so that's always an option. But anyways.
Well, yeah. I use CVS Care Pass, man. Walgreens is the first problem.
But this man, he's not having it.
Because they lie about prescriptions here. They won't feel nothing unless they feel damn well ready to.
Sir.
Yeah.
Your prescription, do not feel it. And
No.
you don't have the right to be videoing me, so
I have a right to video anybody I want to.
No. Hey, Johnny, I might have to call the cops on this guy back here. He's videoing people and he's being loud.
I want the name of the pharmacist that's denying me my medication.
All right. I'm not giving you nobody's name. All right, you're welcome. And there's a reason.
So for starters, I think she's about to say there's a reason why, but the pharmacy is never the one that denies your medication. It's your doctor.
Always a doctor.
Yeah, they just, their job is literally just to fill up your medication and give it to you. But as far as your refills, in charge of that, and the quantity, that's all physician. So right there, you know he's in the wrong. Now, if you told me, oh, you said my medication was ready to be picked up at 3 and I'm here at 6 and you're telling me to come back here tomorrow to get it picked up, then that could be a pharmacy issue. You know, maybe they ran out of it or whatever the case may be, but then you can like direct blame towards them.
Right. But not in this one.
Yeah.
It doesn't look like it so far. He looks like he's just bored. Bored.
Why she's denying your medication. And I'm going to have to ask you to leave. Well, I can help you.
Who was the pharmacist on duty last night that lied to me then?
I cannot answer that question for you. I don't know, sir. And if you're being you need to turn your camera off. You like it?
No, I ain't turning my camera off for nothing.
Okay.
I'm trying to get some names because I'm filing complaints with corporate.
That's fine. You can file a complaint with corporate. They can look back on the schedule and see who's working.
Okay, well that's how I'll handle it then.
Anybody's name.
Oh, you're going to protect the liars, huh?
No, sir.
Well, at least I got her name out of it. They're going to lie to you. I'll find...
Because he's steady videoing. Go ahead.
Oh, I am steady videoing.
Yes, sir. Go be. The cops will be here.
I don't care when your cops get here. Because they lie about...
Whoops, I didn't mean to do that. But clearly he did care when the cops came because you see him walking away now.
He's starting to skedaddle. He's like,
I don't care when your cops get here. Whoops, hold on.
I mean, I don't care.
Sorry.
You're good.
I'm just horrible today. Hold on, let's watch that one more time or listen to that because what I did was I paused it to talk and then it rewinded the video to the beginning because I got out of the video. Sorry, I'm very disoriented today. I'm
She's
still
a
waking
warrior.
up, and then Dave blamed me waking up on me being mad at him. So
No, I just,
yeah.
I got a little insecure and I thought she was mad at me.
No, I'm just still waking
I
up.
understand that, and I'm sorry that I made that your problem.
Do I look like a morning person to anybody?
Sometimes
who's been
she's more of a
watching?
morning person than others, and
I'm
I
not
just,
a morning person.
I just felt she was mad at me.
So no,
I was trying to
wasn't
check
mad
on
at
her.
you.
She
I
wouldn't
was
let me check on her.
just-
I just wanted to make sure she was okay.
I'll handle it then.
Anybody's name.
Oh, you're going to protect the liars, huh?
No, sir.
Well, at least I got her name out of it. They're going to lie to you. I'll find...
Because he's steady videoing. Go ahead.
Oh, I am steady videoing.
Yes, sir. Go be. The cops will be here.
I don't care when your cops get here. So she won't give me nobody's name. They lie to you about your medications. They won't tell you why they don't. Then they just say they won't fill your medications. So this is part of the medication problem, I guess, that we're having in the United States right now. They just lie to you.
There is
Yeah.
a problem with medication in this country. I will grant them that. Not the one he's talking about, but there's certainly problems.
Yeah, he's like obviously skedaddling his way out of the store for a man who doesn't care that the cops are coming.
He's kicking rocks real quick.
Mm-hmm.
He's like, let me get out of here. But it's interesting. I want to give the employee a little credit there. She didn't crack. You know, a lot of times people will crack when they start hearing corporate filings, but I think
That's
everyone's
clearly a
using it now.
Walgreens, and that's enough said.
She didn't crack. She was
No, because Walgreens pharmacy, the pharmacists at Walgreens, they deal with so much. They're underpaid. They have to deal with a lot of that, especially the Walgreens near us was understaffed for like 3 months. And I almost, even me, like I almost like was like, wait a minute, are you guys have the window closed because of the homeless people, but you want me to walk it? I
You
thought
want me to
real
walk
quick.
through the homeless?
Real quick. So the Walgreens around here, I would walk in and get my prescription, but they have a window. It's 24 hours, so you can just do the drive-through, right? But during the winter, when it first started getting really cold, you had all of these people, like it felt unsafe. They were all begging, asking you for money and getting mad when you ignore them or say no. And so I was like, wait a minute, is this drive-through closed because they feel unsafe, but they want the customers to still walk in?
Yeah.
I was like, they need security. They need, like, this is ridiculous. Like, you guys want to be safe, but I'm not protected.
Yeah.
No, turns out they were understaffed. So, because I was about to be like, wait a minute, who's protecting me? You guys are protecting yourself, but who's protecting me? That's what they said. They said that they were understaffed.
Walgreens is tough. Yeah, they didn't want a lawsuit.
Yeah.
Walgreens is tough. Working at Walgreens.
Yeah, you said it's true. They didn't want a lawsuit.
They didn't want a lawsuit. They just lied. They lied right to your face. They didn't want a lawsuit. They didn't want to deal with you.
No, they were totally understaffed though.
But and there's a reason for that though, especially around here. Working at Walgreens is basically like being drafted into Vietnam at 18, 19 years old. You've seen some shit. You've seen it. You've been through a lot.
That was my point.
Yeah, it's bad. I just wanted to make that joke because I really like that analogy. It's like Vietnam flashbacks, man. It's bad. You do not want to be working at Walgreens, especially in the hood. No.
Well, that's what I mean. Like, so because she works at Walgreens, she's seen a lot that this is not, this is pretty much the norm for this
She's
lady.
basically Lieutenant Dan from Forrest Gump. She's seen it all. She's ready to lead you all into battle. You ain't going to get one by her, and you might have to her legs.
Why do you make me have to mute stuff?
It's Lieutenant Dan. They knew the legless joke was coming. They knew it was coming. Once you say Lieutenant Dan, it's like, you will not sink this boat. Lieutenant Dan.
I haven't watched Forrest Gump in some time.
Yeah, well, it's a movie that you can't watch in one setting anymore. Like, that's a long movie.
I can watch every. Well, no, because when I was.
You have to break it up and have a meal.
No, when I was in the nurse. So basically, the beginning of last year, that's the last time I watched Forrest Gump, because working in the nursing home, they had it playing the whole night. So,
oh, really?
Yeah, so I watched the whole thing. Man, today is like really. I need like, I don't know, like 5 gallons of coffee, some caffeine. Like today, my energy is not there. I just woke up like 30 minutes ago.
Yeah.
Yeah.
She did.
Yeah, it's been rough. Like, I have a headache. My knees both hurt me. I'm in pain with my knees. I don't know why. I think I have arthritis or something, but let's not self-diagnose. And I'm just not in the energy. Like, the rude customers today, I'm like, okay. The problem is I'm at a level where I could be really rude.
Yeah.
And so I didn't want to be really rude to the first customer.
That's why I'm glad I went the mental health route.
I did not want to be really rude, because there are a lot of things I could have said about that lady that I just, I'm going to school. So in the hopes of one day to help people like that lady. So I definitely don't want to start contradicting my occupation.
And if she starts, she knows I'll be like, oh, that means I can start. And that would be, she doesn't want that. Because if she can get herself comments, I can get us canceled.
And that was, speaking of canceled,
jokes,
it's so funny. So speaking of canceled,
yes.
there are these, it's a trend. Guys, we're just getting way off topic here. It's fine.
All right. It's towards the end. You guys are in the home stretch here.
I know. Speaking of canceled, so there's a lot of people who decided that they were going to cancel their influencing jobs and go back to their 9-to-5s.
A lot of people.
And I started looking at all these TikTokers who were like, but they showed receipts. This other lady, I got to start saving these when I see it so I can show you. The reason why they were getting paid so much on sponsorships is because they had a lot of engagement. Mm-hmm. So yeah, they had like 70,000 following on TikTok, and then 11,000 subscribers on YouTube, and then like 50,000 subscribers or followers on Instagram. But it was because of their engagement, and they show like, oh, I made over 200,000. This one girl made over $200,000. No, she made $80,000 in sponsorships, and so I think she made like maybe $150 last year being an influencer. And she was explaining why she went back to her 9-to-5, that it's so much work. It's because they think that following is supposed to, you're supposed to make it with that
like
following.
That's sustainable, and that's the thing.
And they're like, I had to work, even though it was good. I had to, and I made 6 figures. I had to work so hard just for that, but. because you're supposed to be at like maybe 500,000 subscribers on YouTube, or you're supposed to be at like higher numbers for you to not
To even have that decision, to even start thinking about those
So you're
things.
lucky that you were able to even make that.
But we're lucky though. We have a different perspective because we're not TikTokers. If it were anything, we've been YouTubers.
Yeah.
And we have a different perspective on things when it comes to growth and success and all that stuff. You don't quit your job unless you're well over 1 million on subs.
Yeah.
Well over 1 million. And even then, depending on your engagement, that's shaky. You need to really be rocking and popping if you want to consider going full time.
Put it this way: if I'm not making, and you heard my words, $50,000 a month, I'm not quitting my 9 to 5.
You can't. And that, let me tell you, that's a lot of money. That's
Yeah.
a hard nut to crack.
Yeah.
Now, she has a little more perspective, and without giving too much about our personal lives away, she is one of these type of people who kind of wants to do it all. And to be able to do that, you have to manage your time effectively to a degree, which, we're still getting there on that sometimes. But the point is, if you can do it on any type of scale, people can learn to manage their times to go to the next level. The problem is people get comfortable and content, and they're like, oh man, I've worked so hard. And that may not even be a lot of work comparatively, depending on what else you're doing. But, oh man, I worked so hard and this is all I can do. They don't get the vacations that they want.
Because they think,
job.
Because the joke is you go back to your 9 to 5 because you're working 24 hours. Like, you're working 5 to 9. Basically, that's the real joke. But still, it's social media is... Sorry I went on this tangent.
No,
Dave
I love
and I
it.
were having a conversation about this yesterday, and I had saw something on TikTok this morning while on the toilet, and I was like, girl, you're lucky to be making that much, and you don't have even that many subscribers or followers, because I remember when I started my Instagram account, our Instagram account, years ago, 2014, I don't know. It's definitely different. You were definitely getting paid. Like, sponsorships were definitely paying you way much more money then than they are now. Because now what they're doing is that they are, instead of paying like, your Britney Spears or Mariah Carey's, they are looking at influencers who have like 10,000 followers or whatever. And they're like trying to spread their money that way through influencers. So, but you and I, we met through content creation, and so we just love being content creators, even though I apologize again, I have low energy. This morning I love doing
we
this.
push through it anyway.
I love doing this, and I think that's why we work, because I've been in partnerships where, one, we live together.
Yes.
So it's very easy, right? Because had I worked with someone in like a different state, I wouldn't have made this show today.
No, it's very
but,
hard.
It's very hard. And this is really...
We have our goals. We're like-minded when it comes to that type of stuff, which is really good. But there's a big word that binds us, and passion. We're passionate about entertaining. These people, the ones that are quitting like this, they're showing me one thing. They're not really entertainers. They probably didn't want to be
like,
entertainers.
they're passionate
about
the money.
They're passionate about the numbers. They're passionate about the likes. They're passionate about that influencer role. If you're calling yourself an influencer and not an entertainer, that tells me a lot about what you're doing. I'm an entertainer. I was born an entertainer. My mom would introduce me. This is my entertainer son, Dave. And I was 6. It's just like some people are born to be, glory hogs.
I don't
whatever.
Say,
I just feel like you either have, honey, don't make me call you out, because you have that same gene. You have that same.
Okay, but I don't view it as an entertainer. I view it as, of course you don't. I don't know, like me just telling. Okay, so I have another channel called An Honest Conversation.
She has 1 million channels.
And
she creates all the time.
Yeah.
She's. Don't make me call you out.
No. What I'm saying is, I just don't view it as an entertainer. I view it as.
Words,
I view it as content creation. I view it as, oh, I made this video. Like, I really had so much fun.
Let me ask you a question. You're creating content for who?
People want to watch. But
yes,
anyways, what I'm saying.
What is that called?
What I'm saying is that yesterday, like, I was so glad when, because of the weather, like, basically I got an invitation to not go to class. So I was like, okay, I'm not going to go to class. And then I went to the coffee shop, and when I read that email, I looked so forward to taking my notebook out, writing out my little research, and then I came back here, filmed my video, and I'm looking forward to, in like 10 minutes, 15 minutes, to editing that video. Like, I'm looking forward to, you know what I mean? It's so much fun. And this is fun too, but it's different. So rude customers, this is a different door, because we've never done anything like this before, where we're sitting here reacting to rude customers. Eventually, guys, I want to get cameras. Eventually we're gonna have a different setup soon. We actually have this box behind us, which is a nice divider. We're gonna get chairs. It's gonna be great. Yep. It's gonna be great. But we just needed to start because
we're passionate.
Yeah.
And that's the thing. That's my biggest point that I'm taking away from this entire conversation is, you're either passionate about what you're doing, whether it's sandwich making or content creation, or you're not. And eventually, if you're not, it's not going to be enough to sustain you in that field. You're going to find something else. You're going to want something else because you're not passionate about it. I just wish more people would realize it sooner. I think once that happens, 2020 was a rough time for everybody, and everyone, identity crises and all that type of stuff, figuring out what they're going to do if their lives and everything that they had planned before Corona was still going to happen. People went through a lot. I get it. It's time to start realizing who you actually are. Get out of the way. Get out of our way. We need those sponsorships.
Oh, gosh. Oh, God. All that to say, it's not really about entertainment, guys. It's about...
Get out of the way.
So that's what I mean, though, when I say, like, I will never let us take anything that's a fake sponsorship. No. Because there's companies like BetterHelp, don't reach out to us. No. There's companies that I absolutely hate.
Which is fine.
Yeah.
Which is fine. Because I at the end of the day, we'll get to where we want to go. And I'm down with that. So.
Yeah. All right. Any last words?
Yeah, I got to go to work. I hope you guys have a fantastic morning. Thank you guys for being here once again for another episode of the Rude Customers Podcast. Like, subscribe, and share everywhere that you consume us, visually or audibly.
And we will see you back here tomorrow.
Yes, we will.
Bye.